Now we are going to see what are the advantages of accounting ratios, or what are the uses or utility of accounting ratios. The ratio analysis is an important tool in the hands of various stakeholders: management, creditors, investors, financial institutions, banks, shareholders, all these interested groups, because it can give clear picture about the company regarding profitability, liquidity, solvency, etc. So we know that it is an important technique or tool of financial analysis. So what are the important and advantages? First, already I have said it is a powerful tool to measure the short term and long term solvency position. Or what about the liquidity position? What about the solvency position? We can use ratio analysis, on the basis of which we can judge the solvency and liquidity position of a company. Second one, it is also a tool to measure the profitability, profit earning capacity. What is the profit earning capacity and what is the managerial efficiency of a company? This can be analyzed or measured with the help of ratio analysis. Second one, it is also an important tool to measure the operating activities, how the operating activities are being carried on. What about the day-to-day operation, whether it is carried on efficiently or not? This can be identified with the help of ratio analysis. Next, it also helpful in analyzing the capital structure. Capital structure means the proportion between different sources of long-term funds. What is the proportion of fund, borrowed fund, whether company depends on bond fund or borrowed fund, or what is the contribution of owners, what is the contribution of creditors? All this can be identified with the help of ratio analysis. Next, it is also, we know that large quantitative data may be summarized. We know that financial statement have large amounts, crores or millions of amounts. That amount or that quantitative, huge, large quantitative data are reduced to simple data, with which we can get more meaningful meaning and understanding of that data. Okay, next it relates past accounting performance with the current. So past accounting data or past accounting performance can be measured compared with the present performance by using the past ratios and present ratios, etc. It is also helpful for coordinating the different functional activities, functional types of machinery of a company. What are the functional different functions? All these different functional areas of the management can be coordinated with the help of ratio analysis. It also helpful to the management for taking decision. It helps the management in decision making. It helps maintaining reasonable balance between sales, purchase, and working capital requirements. So they can maintain reasonable balance between sales, purchase, and estimating working capital requirements. We can determine or we can estimate the working capital requirements also. So these are the advantages of ratio analysis. In spite of these advantages, there are also limitations. So what are the important limitations of ratio analysis? We know that ratio analysis is a device used for studying the financial health of a company by depending upon the financial statements. So we know that while taking such a analysis, we have to consider what are the important limitations, that also to be kept in mind while making financial analysis. So what are the important limitations? First one, we know that financial or ratio analysis is done with the help of data given in the financial statement. If the financial accounting is incorrect, or if the financial data is incorrect, the information derived from ratio analysis will not be useful. We can't depend upon such ratios which are obtained from wrong financial statement. Okay, so what is the accuracy of the financial statement? That is important. Second one, unauthenticated data may lead to misrepresentation of ratio analysis. If the data is unauthenticated, in such a case, this ratio analysis may lead to misrepresentation, as well as the future production may not always dependable, as ratio analysis based on past performance. So authenticated data, unauthorized data must be used, and if it is not authenticated, it may lead to misrepresentation, on the basis of which we can't make a prediction for the future of prediction, because we know that it is based on the past performance. Third one, to get a conclusive idea about the business, a large number of ratios are to be calculated. A series of ratios to be calculated, then only we can get a conclusive idea about the business. So a single data can't serve the purpose. So we have to calculate large number of data. It requires more time, more effort, etc. Because one data can't give entire meaning and understanding. Next one, it is not necessary that a ratio can give the real present situation of a business, as the result is based on the historical data. That is one of the important limitations. Financial accounting or financial statement is a historical report. So we know that the ratio calculated on the basis of that historical data, it has only limited use. So we can't get correct real position of the company or business by depending upon the past data, because conditions will be changing from time to time. Next, trend analysis is done with the help of various calculated ratios that can be distorted due to change in the price levels. We know that trend analysis, that is, price level changes are not considered in financial accounting, and also price level changes are not considered in ratio analysis. So when we calculate or when we undertake trend analysis based on the calculated data, we know that the information may not be accurate, because there will be changes in the price levels. That price level changes are not given consideration in the ratio analysis. നമുക്ക് price level changes ഒരിക്കലും ഇത് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. Okay, next, ratio analysis will be effective only when the same accounting principles and policies are adopted by other concerns also. Otherwise, intercompany comparison will not be possible, and it will not exhibit a clear picture. What are the accounting principles and practice? For example, some company, suppose for example, a company is charging high rate of depreciation, or they charge more amount of depreciation, and while other company is not following a liberal dividend, liberal depreciation policy, as well as the valuation of closing stock. So whenever there is changes in the accounting principles and practices from among various companies, in such a case, in-depth comparison between the companies will not be possible, and if at all, it will not give a clear picture. So എല്ലാ കമ്പനിയും ഒരേ അക്കൗണ്ടിങ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസും പ്രാക്ടീസും ഫോളോ ചെയ്യണം. only then we can make a meaningful intercompany comparison. Next, we know that through ratio analysis, special events cannot be identified. For example, maturity of debentures cannot be identified. When the debt become due, what is the maturity? So all the required information cannot be obtained with the help of ratio analysis. So we know that all the necessary information, required information, may not be obtained from the ratio analysis. Next, we know that for effective ratio analysis, practical experience and knowledge about particular industry is essential, otherwise it may prove worthless. So we should be able to, or the analyst should have clear-cut knowledge and experience about the industry, that particular industry. Only the ratio analysis will be effective. So he should have depth knowledge an understanding about that particular industry, on the basis of which only he can use ratio analysis for getting in-depth knowledge about that industry and company. Next, ratio analysis is useful tool only in the hands of an expert. Analyst should be expert, and he should be well versed, and he should have practical knowledge as well as detailed information. Otherwise, we know that the ratio analysis will not be effective. So it is subjective. It depends upon the quality and the talent of the person who makes such analysis. So these are the important limitations of ratio analysis.